Alright, welcome back Pokemon Go players to another episode of the Purified Podcast. Today is May 31st, 2023. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hello, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger Please. We're back at it again with another episode of the Purified Podcast. It's been yet another very exciting week in the week of Pokemon Go. I'm very excited to look at the news with you guys. I've seen a little bit of teasers here and there, but I haven't seen it all the way through. I'm really excited to talk about what we got this week, too.
Yes, very excited for sure, because we have some incredible news, plus some experiences we had for the Shadow Rays, Mewtwo Shadow Rays and everything. We will definitely be talking about that. We're going to be giving our final ratings to the season of Rising Heroes, which will end as of today, after recording this podcast. Tomorrow, we got a brand new season. Has just been announced. Well, basically been announced a couple of days ago. But regardless, we needed some information before we can actually record this. That's why this podcast is a little bit later than usual. But we're glad we did it, because we have a ton of news to talk about. But let's get right into things, because we're here to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game, because we love the game just as much as everybody else. And don't forget to check us out at the Professor Network /Purify Podcast. Wonderful people to work with. I know that this should not be here because we had guests last time, but that's fine. Yeah, just check them out. Make sure that we are there for that reason. But yeah, always good to see. All right, so let's get into some recaps. We got a lot to recap for sure. Before we really get into our hauls, because it's gonna be one of those, let's really recap Mewtwo raid weekend for us. Okay. I personally went full on 2 days to look for this damn Mewtwo's. 8 hours each. Like, seriously, my buddy and mine was like, I'm done after this. And luckily I had the weekend off. Plus, it was Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend if you actually had there. Celebrate those special days. However, in Pokemon Go, it was one of those Pokemon that you needed to go out and play as much as possible from the very beginning. And yeah, I got interesting haul for sure when it came down to Mewtwo. But it was amazing to see the community out there once again, getting to know Mewtwo's out there. People want to actually raid it. And since it's only in person in the local gyms, you have to really go out there and make the best out of it. So I did that. I messaged my community. We asked what you guys wanted to do, and we went from raid to raid. Just a little background information when it came down to that. It wasn't spawning on every single gym, but it was spawning more frequently than others. So
yeah, I will say that's one thing for the future of Shadow Legendary raids. I hope they do something like a raid hour for those, like maybe just 1 hour out of the weekend. That it's like extremely boosted for. I think that would be really good.
You're gonna be surprised when we get to news then. Anyway. Like I was saying, Mewtwo was spawning in almost every other gym. It wasn't a full raid hour or full raid day, so it wasn't spawning. Like, you couldn't really map out where you needed to go. You actually had to figure out where to go. And the biggest piece of advice that I have for anybody doing this or in the future, you gotta download Campfire. You have to make sure you get at least an invitation to Campfire or something similar to that, because Campfire was a lifesaver for us this weekend. Knowing where we needed to go, how to prepare, how to get the community together. It was actually amazing, because it is something that Niantic actually promotes, and it is a Niantic tool that we can use to make sure that we can actually look for the raids itself, especially to coordinate with the community. And that was a huge lifesaver. I was the one to really go ahead and just plan it out. I was the leader, trying to get everything going. Start here, start there, go to over there. It wasn't like too much of a drive in between gyms. And it was a drive, because unfortunately in our local community, we had to go and drive to places, unless it was like the next gym over or something in the same college community and all that. But yes, and then the last thing was that on Saturday, Mewtwo happened to actually spawn almost indefinitely and we have our local community in the chat right now. Kiki, Ferdog, and Zach, thank you so much for joining us once again tonight. But on Saturday we had a full-on, like, Mewtwo was spawning everywhere. We hadn't seen any other raids aside from the other shadow raids that were spawning, like the Bayleaf and Kolava and whatever one-star raids a lot of people were doing. But then on Sunday, they decided to split the cost of what raids were supposed to actually appear. So Regigigas is our current raid boss until tomorrow, and for some reason it started spawning on Sunday too, and we also did some some megas, which we'll talk about that too in a second.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was actually interesting to say the least. Tiger, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat right now for talking. So, Chris, let me talk about your experience on Shadow Mewtwo raids in the end of the day.
Yeah, I rode with Pure Lighter both days, actually. The first day I worked for a bit, but I was able to join up, I think, around like 5 the first day on Saturday. So I got in a few. A lot of them were weather boosted. There was like a very minute amount that weren't. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Shadow Mewtwo, I think we got 3 chances at it before, not counting if you saved
some of
any,
some of the
things.
Super Rocket Raiders.
Yeah, and one of those was pretty much guaranteed to be a 3-star. I think there was a very small chance that it wasn't.
That was the Golfest one, yeah. Then I didn't like that one. Mine was like a 10, 10, 11 or something.
Yeah, I got a from that one I had a 14, 14, 14. Ooh. So I was really hoping for a really, really good one from this, and then maybe I'd decide which one I purified based on that. Throughout all the raids, I did end up getting a pretty decent one at the end. It was like 15, 15, 11, but like it's not one that could be purified to a hundo even if I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
If it ended up being like 13, 13, 13, you best know that was going to get purified. But I'm pretty happy with the haul, honestly. I'm going to have to go through and clean out a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
Cause at the end of the day, I really only need 6, right? Like
yeah, pretty much.
I'll keep a few more, but at the end of the day, you only need a full team, in my opinion. But,
and that's the thing. A lot of people actually were able to do it, and a lot of people weren't able to do it. Things that the unfortunate thing that you can't really trade shadow Pokemons.
Exactly.
So you have to purify them to give them if you want to really give to that person, and that still is a special trade in all this zone. So still not bad. But I believe I did over 50 raids that weekend.
50? Wow.
Yeah, over 50 raids, which actually I felt like it was littler than I thought it would actually do. I did buy a bundle, which for some reason the bundle for the boxes were different for you and I. I'm like, I don't understand. We had the Tingo Rocket takeover boxes, and then we had the regular boxes, and for some reason he had like nice 15 passes for like 999 or something. I got like 2 passes for like 300 or something. I don't know. either way, but yeah, so the commodity of Shadow Mewtwo was getting the shiny, because it was the first time we had shiny, shadow, legendaries appearing all over the place, and that was what everybody wanted to do. So it was actually amazing to see, once again, the community out there together. Even people who I never met. And through Campfire, you just like coordinate with those people and be like, hey, are you here for the raid? Like, yeah, we're going to have to do it. A lot of people, yes, they were only in their cars, but a lot of people were actually out and about. Even kids in their bikes. They're like, okay, we'll go here, we'll go here, we'll go here. It's like, yeah, there we go. That's how we want the community to grow. And I invited a lot of people to our Discord, our local Discord, for that. So that's actually pretty amazing in the end of the day. So I'm actually kind of glad. So aside from that, I believe the whole takeover was over as of that day on Sunday. Mewtwo race actually went on into almost 9 or 10, didn't they?
Yeah. So I believe the eggs stopped spawning at approximately 8. I'm not sure if some spawned shortly after that. Like maybe they put it to like 8:30 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I did do a raid at about 9:05. So they were definitely spawning like right to the end.
Yes, and that was good because a lot of people who weren't able to do it before or were into the last hours of the day at least on Sunday and even Saturday. They actually completed a few more and they got their rewards when it comes down to it. Now, let me ask you, now that we're a little bit into it, how was your haul after that weekend? Because I left you after like 7 or 8 or something.
Dude, I did like 5 or 6 Shadow Mewtwo's after I left you. Between Julie and me, we both didn't get another shiny.
Oh, so you are shadowless or
I'm
shinyless?
Shadow Shinyless,
Shadow
yeah.
shadowless. Oh god.
Yeah, I will say, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I only got one shiny. Oh, I wish I got more shinies." I will say, I'm definitely happy I at least got to get some Shadow Mewtwo's.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, definitely.
Anything more than what I had is amazing. I know people talk about it all the time. I only got 30 shinies. Okay, Hamtaro. Uh,
Bro, if you
I,
actually got that many shiny Mewtwo's, I don't know what the hell your luck was going through.
there are some people locally that did approximately the same amount of raids as Pure Letter, if not less, that got 5 shinies. I'm
Oh
looking
my
at you,
god.
Ferndog, your wife. But
Okay.
oh my gosh. He'll be back eventually. If you didn't get the shiny, he'll be back. It's just a matter of when. But yeah, I'm sorry for the people that couldn't get it. Hopefully they make it so we can remote it in the future. Even just the fact they put a limit on it and then didn't allow you to raid them is kind of sad. But
Yeah.
I understand what they're going for, trying to get the local communities together. Yeah, I just know it is hard for the people that are living out in the middle of nowhere with
Yeah.
like barely anyone that plays.
Definitely. And here's the thing: when it comes down to it, I feel like this is just the initiative of actually how they're going to portray Shadowed Raids from here on out. It's only the beginning. It might just be the very first year. We maybe two. I don't know. It really depends on how Niantic really wants to handle things,
Yeah, they're still testing.
and they're still testing. So yes, even as unglitchy it was that weekend for all the raids, we did have some glitches. We had the Mewtwo sometimes didn't go down fully. We had to
Oh my
restart. We had
gosh,
things like that.
one
So
HP glitch.
yeah, so it was kind of like any type of new event is gonna have glitches, but they tested it out and they actually put it out in parts because Shadow Rays first they tested out with the 1 and 3 stars, which was great because that way we at least we know that they're working. Then after that they put the actual big prize, which was the weekend of Mewtwo, and that's when actually we knew that the events of the Shadow Rays were actually gonna go good or bad depending on how they went things. And we
Yeah, I'm
thought
glad they did that.
yeah, and we thought it was going to be one of the hardest Pokemon that we're ever going to have in the game to battle down and everything. However, because of the community and because we actually started learning a little bit more about how the Purified gems and everything works, Mewtwo was simply easily handled with 4 accounts with high counters. It was not that hard to get through things. So, in the end of the day, I think it was a good thing regardless. I think it was a successful introduction to legendary shadow rates, and I gotta give it kudos to the Niantic. I'd say 9.5 when it came down to the end of the day. You know,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for one glitch, but that's I mean 9.8. How
Yeah.
about that? You know.
Yeah, I'd definitely give it like a 9 or 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the 1 HP glitch, we still got done plenty of raids.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Locally, we had a lot of people show up. Like it was pretty rare to have less than like 14 people in a raid. We had to split up groups a few
Oh
times.
yeah, that was I
Um,
felt that so in my heart, and it was such a good experience once again to feel that we can actually get that type of community together. You know, so
yeah, I'm super glad we started with Mewtwo. Now we know Articuno is going to be a piece of cake with that quad weakness.
yeah, definitely. Good times for sure, for good times. And then one last thing to really cover is the ending of the season of Rising Heroes. We usually give our final ratings. I know we kind of like been eluding it from the last few podcasts. But in the end of the day, I think Rising Heroes, it started out meh. It
It had a
kept
good
going.
finale
It
though.
got bad, but it had an amazing finale. That actually at least I want to say that from a 3 to 4 rating that I wanted to give it, it did post it up to a 6 for that. And the only reason why is because of Mewtwo. the mechanics and the way that they work things out, but it wasn't the greatest season. And I believe, at the end of the day, with all the controversy that we had in the last 3 months, I believe that this season suffer from just announcements alone, aside from just the regular events that we had for the whole season. It doesn't really feel like it was an actual hero season. It just seems like we were just trying to get up a few things here and there. And unfortunately, again, it made to the discouragement of a lot of different players just because of the things that happened in the last month or so. So, anything else you add in your rating there, Chris?
Yeah, I'd probably rate it around a 7. I really liked the design of like everything. I thought the comic book look was very cool, but I don't think it really got implemented into the actual season. But other than that, it was a decent story overall. Just nothing crazy till the end.
Yeah.
Shadow Raids was a very good addition. I'm
Yeah.
very excited for those.
So yeah, and with that being said, we're gonna close down the season of Racing Heroes as it is. By this time tomorrow, the new season will have started already, so it will be an incredible time ahead coming up. So let's get into the research topics of the day because it's time to go through a lot of news.
We're not going to talk about our shinies and hundos.
Do you want to?
Just very fast.
Go ahead.
I want to brag.
Okay, brag it.
Okay. I go plus to shiny coughing during the rocket event. I got 2 shiny Regigigas. I thought I only got 1. Pure Lighter and I traded shiny Dialgas. Mine was all right, but if it's not 15 attack, it's bad. So it's 13, 14, 15.
Right.
And then I was trading with Julie, and I got a Hundo Lucky Chimeco. Out of all the Hundos I could have got.
Chimeco.
Yeah, and today I'll just mention really quickly, I did a daily adventure incense after raid hour with Zach here, and we were catching things, and he just happened to mention, oh yeah, watch, you're gonna miss the Galarian Moltres, or something like that, and right after he said that, a Galarian Moltres spawned on my main. I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
So yeah, I clicked on that so fast through that Master Ball. Ain't no way that thing's getting away. And
what were the IVs?
it was pretty good for PvP. Not the best. It's a 276 and it's 560 CP, so I can still use it in a Great League if I want to, but I doubt it. I don't know. We'll see. But I love Galarian Moltres. I'm super glad. And then he was like, "Watch, your girl's gonna get the Galarian Zapdos." Nope, it spawned on my main. So I was able to throw an Ultra Ball at it, shook twice, broke out. He's like, "Watch, you'll get it on the second throw." Jumps out immediately. Goodbye. But it was super cool. Nah, Fur Dog, I'm very happy I got to finally get the Galarian Moltres.
That's good.
Now it's just going to be a battle to catch the other 2.
I would say welcome to the club, even though the club of just using regular Pokeballs and Ultra Balls and against a
I should have go plussed it and caught it with a Pokeball.
Right.
But I see you got a shiny Regigigas. Let's see what you got, buddy.
Yeah, so last raid hour I actually got the Regigigas, so I was actually happy about that since it's technically the next second or third. I don't remember how many I actually have at this point. I didn't do raid hour this week. Had some things to do, so kind of skipped it, and also kind of burned out from all the Mewtwo's that weekend anyways. Then after that, I did finally catch my shiny Jirachi. I've completed the quest finally, and I'm happy to finally have gotten it. Although the IVs could have been a little bit better, it is a 13, 10, 12 IVs, so I do have a better Jirachi, I think, so I'll be using that for PvP regardless. The Alga from Chris, which was nice, thank you. I did get 1 Shadow Shiny Mewtwo, just 1 out of the 50 raids, so my odds were horrendous. So and then I did a lucky trade with a local that I haven't seen in a while, and unfortunately it was a 15, 15, 14 shiny Groudon.
Unfortunately, he says we got to bring in bottle caps.
Oh God, yeah, I know, right? Just let me power up to hundos. Anyways, it would be funny though if you actually do bottle caps. I believe that the little like hint that you want to raise the ABs for that will stay in a different color, so it's never the true hundo.
Yeah. So
So like a
if
golden little
people
thing.
want to, if people want to feel like rare about the hundos they already have, they can still feel that if they ever decide to add bottle caps.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So it is how it is. And then for hundos, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Sorry.
This guy.
I did actually hatch a hundo Togamaru. I think it was during the last raid hour. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Surprisingly, but then I got this Altaria from a Mega Ray. Funny enough, this is how I actually went. Um, we were doing Mewtwo. We were doing Mewtwo that weekend. It was on Sunday. We had a Mega because Chris needed actually another Mega Altaria to get enough energy to start walking it and a Mega Ball before once. So we were like, okay, there's a Mega right here. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we can do the Mewtwo that's right next to it. Funny enough, we do the Mega, and we're looking at the CPs. It's like, why is that CP so high?
That's kind of high.
It's kind of high. You know, he like out of all the accounts we had there, even my friend's account, we just I was the highest one. I was like, this is no way the Hundo, right? It's like I catch it, I check the ABs, and of course it is the Hundo Altaria from a Mega Ray. You can't make this up, man.
First thing he's saying, dude, that could have been Mewtwo.
That could have been Mewtwo. Oh my goodness.
Funny enough, it was at a raid that we locally call Hundo Mill.
Oh
because
yes,
of how many Hundos happen there?
It's hilarious. The best, one of the best actual Mewtwo Shadow Mewtwo's that I got was a 15, 15, 14. I will not be purifying it, even though I always say purified, only if it's a Shando availability. And the reason is because I already have my Hondo Mewtwo from regular raids anyway, so I technically can't wait for it to come back and maybe hopefully get the Shando eventually for that reason. Have you actually seen Trainer Club?
Not
His
yet.
videos? Oh my goodness.
Yet.
So his video on Saturday, he gets a Hondo. His video for Sunday, he gets the Shando.
Oh my gosh.
All Mewtwo's. I'm like, what? Where's my luck on that? Like, seriously.
This guy's luck.
Like
I'm very jealous.
And I was like the very first race he did too. Like whatever he was actually showing in the video. First the Mewtwo on Saturday, and then like the second Mewtwo he does on his second day, he just gets the Shando. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Congrats though, but that's incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, enough bragging. Let's get into the news. We got a lot to talk about. It's time to get into today's research topics of the week. First and foremost, before we actually go into the whole new season that we're going to be talking about, definitely. Also, thank you so much for Jamal to joining us. Thank you so much for being here because we are loving the community right now. There was an announcement of a new shop. And this is actually kind of interesting. So, new ways to get Pokecoins, or bonus Pokecoins, I guess. So, trainers, we're excited to announce they're about the Pokemon Go web store. The Pokemon web store is currently available only in certain regions. More regions will be accessible to the store soon. Basically, what's happening is instead of actually going through your phones, let's say Apple or Android or Samsung, whatever the case may be, and buy the coins from there, you can actually buy them directly from Niantic in the web store. Just log in through the website and then just pay for the coins. You can pay with any other type of currency or whatever it is that you do it anyways. And the funny thing is, the only thing that's actually accessible is that you get a couple extra coins here and there. So a discount somewhat of extra coins when it comes down to it. First and foremost, they have a web exclusive box of an Ultra Legend box for $25. You can only purchase one time. It will give you 2 Elite Charge TMs, 2 Elite Fast TMs, 10 Super Incubators, and 5 Premier Raid Passes or Battle Passes. Is that a good deal for the Elite TMs? I'm not sure. $25. It is a little bit cheaper than the usual Community Day one anyways. So
I feel like it's good for people that don't have a lot of the the moves that are legacy now. Like if you don't have a lot of elite charge TM or elite fast TMs. But for the season players, it doesn't really feel like a deal to me.
That's right. Yeah, because it's just one of those things. Then we have Pokecoins, all types of Pokecoins that you would usually get for the regular price instead of like the $1 and the $5 ones that you usually see. You can get $10 worth of Pokecoins for 1,260 Pokecoins. That's a $60 wet coin bonus or wait store bonus. $20, 2650 coins will be 150 extra coins. $40, 5,600 coins with an extra 400 that happens. And then if you buy the full bundle, the $100 one, you get an extra 1,000 coins from the 1,500 or 1,400 that you usually get through regular means. I did actually get one from the store before raid hour, or raid weekend, I guess, from you too, and just to make sure that I got a little extra here and there, since it is what it is. You know, it actually gives you.
Should have done that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit easier when it comes down to it, and the extra coins really don't mount for much, but you are getting a little bit extra for the amount that you usually pay for them, anyways.
Yeah, it does definitely look like a deal. I'm very interested to see how it does long term.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the new shop. Again, it's only available in certain regions. I'm actually surprised that the United States actually got it already. But regardless, it is a good deal on in its own. So that being said, let's get into some hidden stuff, shall we?
Let's dig it up.
Dig it up. So the next season of Pokemon Go, it's here, or it will be here by tomorrow. The season of hidden gems. This was teased after raid weekend for Mewtwo, and they started talking about things. They actually, announced the title of it pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and watch the video. If it's too loud, let me know. So, a lot of beach-like moments. It looks like we're searching for hidden treasure, I guess. Got Tyranitar. We had Mega Sceptile with Greninja right next to it. Lucario wasn't the other one, of course. We also have...
I wish we had that many Pokestops on the beach.
I know, right? We got Squirtle, tiny and small, large and Mega Blastoise because of it. Then Pokemon Go Fest 2023, which will happen in this season. The hidden gems, discover the hidden gems. And then there is a little bit more at the end. Haxorus, I guess I should say, in Pokemon Go Fest. Looks like they actually show up New York City. And then a big green light to the sky. And Chris is already smiling the heck out of it because he already knows what this is.
I saw your tweet.
Well, I mean, it can only be two things that are green in the game, and that's because, again, it's legendary when it comes down to it. There are two theories on this, but it kind of makes sense that it's going to the sky. So, but this is the next season, Hidden Gems. A lot to uncover from that trailer alone, but we're just going to keep on moving on, and then we'll talk about things like that. But as excited as you are, Chris, what do you think that the last little teaser trailer of that happened to be?
I'd be honestly a bit surprised if it was Ray, but it does seem kind of likely. I mean, I would look at it this way, though. If they're releasing the mythical that everyone thinks they're going to release, which, I mean, it's pretty much confirmed now. They also had two megas, or two primals, I shall say, at Go Tour.
Yes.
Plus, actually, two megas, now that I think about it, because they had Mega Latios and Latios, right?
Correct.
So because of that, I do think it would be very likely that they have Mega Ray and Mega Diancie, but we'll see. Because it's likely they might just have Diancie Mega Candy like in Quest or something.
The only reason why I think it's a Mega Rayquaza for that reason is that, and Diancie, of course, and I hope it's both. I mean, I really do hope it's both. It's just because it is technically a Gen 6 Go Fest. With all Diancie and all that. So it's actually kind of cool. If we just get Diancie and then we just Ray for Mega Rayquaza all weekend on, I'll take it. I don't mind it. I'll do them all.
They know how to get our money.
Right, definitely. So to continue on, of course, with the season of Hidden Gems, Go Fest 2023 is happening, of course, in August. London, UK, Osaka, Japan, and then New York City. The global one will be happening, of course, later on in the same month, actually the week after New York, so that's going to be interesting. We already talked about that. What is the features of Hidden Gems? So, Pokemon debuts. We'll have Sandygast and Palosan making its go debut in the next event that we're going to be talking about in a moment. We're also going to have Carbink? Is that what it's called? How it's
Yes.
called? Carbink, a little Gen Jewel Pokemon, similar to Diancie, but it's not the pre-evolution, so don't worry about that. But Carbink will be appearing somewhere in the season of Hidden Gems. We don't know that yet, when it will appear, but it's actually kind of nice that they tell us what Pokemon are going to be released through the season, or at least through what we're going to see in the next few days. Then we did have Shadow Pokemon's debut, since we already know. However, Shadow raids will be available during Hidden Gems starting on Monday, June 5th at 10 a.m. local time. 1-star and 3-star raids will be available daily, while 5-star Shadow raids will be available exclusively on Saturday and Sundays unless otherwise noted. And this is what we need to talk about. The very first Shadow Legendary coming back from Mewtwo's return, it will be Shadow Articuno. We alluded that from the beginning of this podcast today. So starting on June 10, Shadow Shiny Articuno will be available in Pokemon Go, and you'll basically be able to do it the entire weekend. The entire weekend of June, that is. So all 3 weekends, I think, or 3 or 4 weekends.
It should be about 3, right?
It's not gonna start here, so yeah, it's got about 3. So all through the months of June, or at least the weekends of June, Shadow Shiny Articuno will be happening then and there. Then we have a Hidden Mystery of Gems, Shadow Raids, Web Store. They have 4 more features. Looks like they're gonna be actually appearing during the season. We're not sure what they are. We're expecting a lot of different things, and from the trailer, we kind of already have a little bit of hints here and there. But there are 4 other features that will be happening during this summer. It's kind of interesting, to say the least, of what they're gonna be. But they at least already announced 2 of them. Kind of weird that they put chests with different type of colors for them. So we'll see.
I don't know if that's like to help us. I did notice in the trailer there were some lights behind, like in the back, that were like green and yellow. So I'm curious if that was supposed to tease us somehow.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Then we have the seasonal highlights. So all the features and everything technically is from Shadow Race and everything, but we'll see what else is coming. Seasonal highlights, we have Community Days, which we already know the dates, and we'll actually have already our Community Day of what's going to happen this month. We'll talk about that in a moment. June 10, July 9, July 30th, and August 13, with one of them being a Community Day Classic. I think it's July 9, but we'll see how it goes. And then Team Stickers, beautiful summer stickers for the whole season of Hidden Gems. I really do like those stickers this time around. And I guess, you guys already saw some of the events here, but we'll talk about it in a moment. However, we do have technically the full season worth of raid bosses if we scroll down through the map, or at least the calendar that they have. So give me a second here, because we do have a better, clear picture of what is going to be. Who is it that actually put it out the best? I think Pokédex did it the same. Okay, so here we go. So during the month of June, actually we'll talk about June in a moment since it's there. You know what? We'll cover that in a moment, because if not, we're going to be talking about other things regardless. So let's go back to the actual season. So the very first thing that we're actually going to notice is that Uxie, Mesprin, and Axel were going to be coming back into raids starting June 1st into the 15th. So 15 days to raid them. Remember, Uxie, Mesprin, and Axel do have their own regional spawns. Axel for the Americans, I think Mesprin for the European region, and Uxie for the Asian region. So if you can remote them, that's great. Remember, remotes are still a little expensive, however, and of course limited. However, there's still a possibility that you can get invited to those kind of raids if you are looking for the shinies.
Yeah, I didn't think about it, but they might raise the limit for this to 10. But I was telling Zach while we were doing the Adventure Incense, keep in mind it's a maximum of 10 total. So yeah, whether you want to use 5 on Mesprit, 5 on Uxie if you live here in the Americas, that's up to you. I would recommend chasing whichever shiny you want to get more, and then chasing the other one.
I'm definitely looking for Absol still. Yeah, I'm still looking for Absol. Absol, sorry. Mesprin, I did get the shiny. Uxie is one of the other ones that is eluding me. However, I have 2 out of the 3 hundos. And the only one that I'm
I
missing
know about
also
that.
is Absol. So I'm going to be definitely going Absol hungry this weekend or this week. This next 2 weeks, actually, now that I think about it. Mega Swampert will also be making his return during those times. And then we'll talk about the entire month in just a moment. We do have Go Battle League updates. We'll cover those in our PvP section. So make sure you tune in for that. And then the seasonal rotation. Chris, how about you tell us about the research breakthrough box?
The research breakthrough. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit better than last season. The Pokemon you can encounter from the research breakthrough is one of the following: Sableye, Bell.
Well, apparently I lost Chris and halfway through that, so give me a second, guys. Technical difficulties can be appearing in podcasts when it comes down to it. Man, they took
For you,
away.
Zach. Odd
Hold on, Chris.
sighting.
Chris.
What?
You cut off like halfway through that. So
Really?
yeah,
That's weird.
I felt like you like I lost you completely after you said Sableye. But go ahead and restart that part if you want to.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, so the Pokemon you can encounter are Sableye, Beldum, Audino, Furfrou, Gumi, and Noibat. Which, if you notice, 5 out of those 6 can be shiny, and the one that can't be shiny is Gumi. So, honestly, very good collection. I'm very excited for this.
Yes, definitely. I believe Gumi could probably become shiny by GoFest. I don't know why, but I have that feeling.
I wouldn't be that surprised.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be either. And everybody will be looking for it anyways. The good thing about it is that at least this list has a lot better than the one from before. I know Hunter
Yeah.
said, good. They took away Parasect. Goodbye, Parasect.
Yeah.
Never come back ever.
Yeah, when I cut out, I was like, "Thank goodness we're not going to be getting any more Parasect."
Yeah, definitely.
Even
Most
for that Stardust.
right. Most of them can be shiny, which is actually amazing. Aldino is a very, very good one, anyways. Mostly because it will have a Mega in the future. Same with Sableye, same with Beldum. Noibet is kind of like after getting his community day, so it's kind of like one of those things. However, it's still a Dragon type, so it's still one of those things. And Gumi, even though it's not the greatest pseudo legendary, once it gets a community day, we'll see how it goes. So shiny ones or not, that is the research breakthrough boss. Then we have different Pokemon appearing in the wild. So once again, a rotation of full-on Pokemons that are reappearing. City-like places will have Alola Meowth, Kadabra, Magneton, Coffin, Apon, Galarian Zigzagoon, and Patrat, and more too, of course. Forest, we have Paras, Executor, Scyther, Katnia, Suaro, and Phantom, surprisingly. Mountains, we have Onyx, Dunsparce, Lodred, Boulder, Ferroseed, Stunfisk, and Helioptile, which we'll never see here in Florida. Beach and Water, Galarian Slowpoke, Shelter, Staryu, Staryu, Pelipper, Lodomola, Binacle, and Bruxish. Surprisingly enough, I had Bruxish as my daily spawn for like 5 days in a row.
It spawned a lot for me too.
Yeah, I don't understand. The Northern Hemisphere will have things like Paras, Alolan Executor, Dratini, Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip, which is kind of nice because, again, Mega Evolutions for those. So a few of them here. And then the Southern Hemisphere, I know one of our locals is going to be sad about this. Meowth, Alolan Marowak, Beldum, Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup will be appearing in the Southern Hemisphere. So
He's got to move.
I know, right? So he got to go the other place. Sorry, Zach. He did say also that Adino does give you an Startup boost for the research breakthrough, so just make sure of that. And it is kind of hard to catch anyways. The X will also be having a follow-up to the season. Staryu, Cleffa, Igglybuff, Magby, and Azumarill and more will be appearing from 2KX. Also, I think they're including Larvesta, but of course I don't want to say that because it is a 1% spawn. 5-kilometer eggs, Amenastar, Kabuto, Chuckle, Sableye, Rangarola, and Marine. And more, of course. 7KX will have Hisuian Rowlet, Hisuian Boltor, Hisuian Quellfish, and Hisuian Sneasel, with more to come. 10-kilometer eggs, we have the return of Mawile into 10KX. Bacon, Emolga, and Dino, and of course more. We do have our 5 kilometers. Adventure Sing X will be Kratos, Shieldon, Mantan, and Stunfisk. I kind of wish the rewards for those were a little bit better.
Yeah, it's really just Mantike chasing now, I feel like.
Pretty much. And then the 10-kilometer eggs for Adventure Sing will have Riolu, which they put right there and there. Galarian Jabaz, Gumi, Rockruff, and more. So again, a bunch of Pokemons here and there when it comes down to it. So it's kind of interesting. If you want to walk it because you're gonna get to 50K at some point at the end of the week. I definitely gonna have to make my steps this week.
Two.
Oh, dude, I missed it.
2
I
kilometers
missed it by
last week.
1, I think, last week too. And the worst part of it is, of course, the X switching up tomorrow anyway, so it doesn't really matter at that point.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited with this 10 kilometer.
I also didn't have really space for the 10K, so I was happy enough
Yeah.
for the 5 anyways. And then seasonal bonuses. And now this is a very, very, very good seasonal bonuses. So the following are too specific to only the hidden gems. So for the next 3 months, this is what we're going to have. 1 additional special trade per day. That's pretty good. 1 additional Pokemon candy when trading Pokemon, and 1 additional guarantee extra large candy for trading Pokemon. So that is returning. However, the biggest piece of news is not actually those announcements, even though they're very good ones. It's this one. Previously, a temporary seasonal bonus. The damage dealt by Pokemon participating in raids remotely will be permanently increased to the same amount of damage dealt by Pokemon participating in in-person raids. So what we fear that was going to happen after all the changes of remote raids actually became a good thing in the end of the day, because this is now actually going to be a permanent bonus for anything. So anytime you do either an in-person raid or a remote raid, you will be doing the same amount of damage regardless of how you try it. And that is good news all around.
Yeah, very, very happy they made that permanent.
Yes, so I'm glad that Niantic at least is listening to some of the feedback, even if they don't actually address it fully. But regardless, I'm actually very happy about all these changes. And plus, the bonuses are amazing. I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of the extra special trades with my roommate, and we're going to be trading on a lot of legendaries pretty coming soon. So, with that being said, that is the season of hidden gems. However, that is not all the news we have today, because again, it's just how the season goes. It's time to talk about other things. Let's get into the June content update. They call it the Dumpling News because, you know, they love doing that. So, Chris, how about you tell us the raid bosses for the month of June?
Yeah. So for the month of June, I'll start with the mega raids, because I'll mention the shadow raids really quick. So Shadow Articuno is going to be in raids starting June 10th, and it's only going to be during the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, get out there and raid with your locals. Remember, you cannot remote into them or send out remotes for people. So I'd get at least a group of 3 with a bunch of purified gems to take them out. Mega raids. We're going to have Mega Swampert from June 1st until June 15th. Remember, any Mega can be shiny, but it will be a regular Swampert when you catch it. Mega Sceptile will be in raids from June 15th to June 29th. And then there's going to be a Mystery Mega from June 29th until July 6th. I have my suspicions because of the name of the season. We'll see. Keep in mind, all of these start at 10 a.m. local time, and all of these end at 10 a.m. local time. The raid hours.
Well, actually,
interesting.
To go into the 5-star race for the month, because we only covered 3 of them, and that were the regional Lake Trio, I guess I should call it. We do have from June 15 to June 29, Nihilego coming back into raids with its shiny availability, so he's definitely going to be a must-out shiny and a powerful poison-type Pokemon. Non-mega poison-type Pokemon, one of the best ones out there, so you basically want to. You also want one for Master League, so please help me get the Master League one. And then Heatran comes back at the end of the month from June 29 to July 6. Shiny is always available, of course, but he will have actually some kind of interesting changes pretty soon, so we'll definitely talk about it in a second. But yes, raid hours, Chris.
Yeah. The raid hours are going to be June 7th and June 14th for all of the Lake Trio. That means I would do your local ones and then reach out to somebody from the other groups to try and do their raid hours to get in your passes for the remotes on those days. And then Nihilego is going to be June 21st until and also June 28th. So yeah, we're definitely going to be raiding that to try and get the shiny.
Yeah, definitely. We also have our events for the month. We have Searching for Gold Research, June 3rd, which is actually happening this weekend. The Water Festival Beach Week Spotlight Hour will be happening June 6th. We'll talk about Spotlight Hours in a second. Water Festival Beach Week will start on June 6th all the way from June 12th. We'll also be talking about that in a moment. June's Community Day, right? June's Community Day on June 10th. We'll also be talking about that in a moment. The end of the month will end with 2 different events starting from June 16th to June 25th. The Solstice Horizon event with a Team Go Rocket takeover. So I pretty much think that the Reggie Rock will be happening and be able to TM Frustration. So be ready with those Shadow Mewtwo's and Articunos. Dark Flames, which is an interesting name for an event, will be happening from June 29 to July 2nd. I'm very, very curious about that one for sure.
Galarian Moltres?
Nah. We'll see. We'll see. Then we have Spotlight Hours. I know Chris's head and camera can really see them. However, Spotlight Hours. On June 6th, we're actually going to have the Festival Beach Week Spotlight Hour, which will actually include a bunch of crab Pokemons. Including Krabby, Kabuto, Corphish, Cluncher, and Crowbrawler. However, the brand new shiny Pokemon being released this season, Shiny Crowbrawler or Crowler? No. Cluncher, right?
Cluncher, yeah.
Cluncher, brand new shiny, beautiful shiny. It looks like basically a shrimp, a regular shrimp. But yeah, so that is definitely good there. Then we'll go back to regular Spotlight Hours, June 13 with Binacle. Of course, this shiny is also available with 2 times candy for catching Pokemon. However, I forgot to mention that it's 3 times experience for catching Pokemon over the last Spotlight Hour. So, Chris, be ready with your Lucky Eggs.
Me at work sweating.
Then we have June 20th, Sunken, which I don't believe we actually seen his Spotlight Hour before, with 2 times candy for transferring Pokemons. Chris, you have very good.
Yeah, I always say but never do. I would recommend to mark all the Pokemon you want to transfer, have them ready. You can tag them all and then mark them that way. And if you transfer them right at the beginning of the event, then you can focus on catching all the Sunkern you want after that.
Yes. And then June 27 we'll have Doduo with 2 times experience for evolving Pokemon. A little lackluster the last few Spotlight Hours. However, it is kind of cool that some of them, at least one of them, is actually even having a specific full-on event Spotlight Hour for that. So interesting to say the least. And of course, a lot of them can be shiny.
Yeah, I'm glad there aren't any full-on Spotlight Hours that aren't shiny yet.
Correcto mundo. With that being said, that is the June content dumped of news. Let's dive into Water Festival. The beach week is here. And yes, that's how I say it because it's excellent. But that is the event that is happening starting on June 6th at 10 a.m. local time from Monday, June 12th at 8 p.m. local time. Trainers, oceans are fun awaits in the Water Festival Beach Week. Our Water Festival event returns with our Sandy gas debut. So that's an interesting one to say the least. And then, of course, enjoy the week featuring Pokemon you find in sunny shores, Pokemon debuts, a global challenge, and a special time research ticket, and more. So, Pokemon debuts, we did talk about that. Sandygast and Palo Sun will be happening to come into Pokemon Go for the very first time. Sandygast can evolve into Palo Sun using only 50 candies, so it is interesting. However, this may actually have some meta in the PvP meta. It's Revelance out there. Being a ground ghost type. Ghost type's been one of the strongest things out there right now. And they are called the Sand Castle Pokemon and the Sand Heap Pokemon. Interesting. Global Challenge. A global challenge will take place throughout the event. Work with trainers around the world to throw 300 million nice throws to unlock bonuses for all trainers to enjoy for the remainder of the event. If we do get the goal, the bonuses are increased candy for nice, grace, and excellent throws, and an increased chance for trainers for level 31 and up to receive Candy XL for successfully catching Pokemon with a nice, great, and excellent throws. So get those nice throws going, guys. or at least practice up because it's really easy to get. Wild encounters for the events, we'll have Tentacool, Shelder, Krabby, Alolan Secutor, Horsey, Staryu, Meryl, Wingull, Welmer, Spheal, Finion, which is actually pretty cool to see since it's shiny available, Dwebble, I still don't have that, Frillish, and Cloyster. Actually, female Frillish and Cloyster, which of course cannot be shiny. If you are lucky, you get a Mantine or a Popplio spawning in the wild. And I think we have a 99% shiny event week this time around because the only Pokemon that cannot be shiny is Popplio, and that's because he hasn't had a community day anyways. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good event here and there. I'm stuck on Pokeballs anyways. Field Research Encounters. We actually gonna have Lapras wearing a scarf, which is the one from the last Water Festival. Frillish, Benacle, Clauncher, and Sandygast. Is Sandygast actually in the wild?
From what I can tell, no.
That's an interesting
one.
At
least not yet, but we'll see.
Maybe they'll release it in Field Research, but at least it's a free research, so it's not bad. So we'll see. However, one of the things that are very, very prominent with this one, of course, is the Clauncher being the shiny release and the Lapras wearing the scarf. So that's actually pretty cool. I know a lot of people were going ham when it came into raids anyways.
Yeah.
Some field research stacks will actually allow you to Mega Energy or earn Mega Energy through Blastoise and Swampert. So if you still need those Mega Energies, get ready to get some Mega Energies. We talked about Spotlight Hour, so we don't really have to cover that. The event bonuses for this event will be 4 times Rainy Lure Module. Interesting. So it's 4 times effective.
Have a party.
Indeed. Indeed. They did mention a time research for $5 or equivalent, of course. You get the able to access events exclusive time research. Complete the task to earn a suffer pose for your avatar and encounters with the event team Pokemon. Please note that time research expires. The time research tags and the rewards will disappear on Monday. Drowsy finally got him.
Your trainer's busy.
I know, right? Monday, June 12th at 8 p.m. local time, and Drowsy just got me dizzy again. So yes, that is a weird post when you look on it. We're gonna show it right there on stream for you guys. And again, it will be available and before the end of the festival. So raids, we do have the following raids for the event: Alolan Diglett, Hisuian Quailfish, Carvana, Feebas, and then Sandygast. My man is gonna be going ham on the free raids. 3 stars, Blastoise, Gyarados, Lapras, and Alola all available 3 stars. 3-star shinies.
I don't want that Lapras.
That Lapras looks kind of amazing. Although I kind of want the Gyarados too for a chance. 5-star race. We did mention that, of course, Mesprit, Elfin, and Absol, and then the Mega will be Swampert for the duration of this event. New avatar items: the Sandygast hat, Diver outfit, and Diver goggles will be available in the shop as the start of this event. Interesting, to say the least. But that is the very first event of the season of Hidden Gems. Very potent. I see a lot of potential in this one for sure.
Yeah, living in Florida, I'm really excited for this event, honestly.
I mean, everybody else is going to finally have it, what we actually see every day anyways. Because we live right next to the beach anyway, so what's the difference? Yeah. We're just going to see more water spawns when it comes down to it. We also have a research day, and this one is called the Goal Research Day event. This is happening on June 3rd from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time on a Saturday. Chris, I'm sorry.
Very sad.
Indeed. Featured Pokemon for this event will be a lot of shiny gold Pokemon, actually. Wow. Caterpie, Magikarp, Nosepass, Sableye, and Barboach will be appearing during this event. The event bonuses will be that some Pokestops may turn into gold without using a golden lore module. However, roaming form Gimmighoul won't be appearing from this golden Pokestop unless you are using one. But the treasure hunting trainers may still find Gimmighoul coins when they spin the Pokestops. So, I guess they're actually trying to implement the gold stops a little bit more instead of just keeping it behind a ability of, sending postcards to Scarlet and Violet on that. So I'm actually kind of glad because a lot of people, even though we are trying to get our lore parties going, we only have had one and we're not even close to getting a Goldengo anyway. So
yeah, we're like a third of the way there.
Yeah. Wild encounters. We'll have Weedle, Bellsprout, Poochyena, Weasel, Temple, Shelmet, and Stuffle. If you're lucky, you might encounter Lickitung and Azumarill being the only non-shiny Pokemon of this event. However, almost every single one of them can be a gold shiny. That's pretty cool, I guess. Or somewhat close to a gold shiny, I guess. Time research, and you also have a $1 equivalent time research if you want to pay for it. With more encounters with Caterpie, Magikarp, Nosepass, Sableye, and Barboach. It does expire at the end of the event, so you only have those 3 hours, just like a community day, to finish it. So make sure you do, if you are going to buy the tickets, that you finish it the day specifically. I'll be at work before then, so.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I might actually get that depending on what time I get out of work.
Yeah. Make sure you get off at least an hour before and then finish it before then.
Yes, sir.
There you go. But that is the goal research day. A little bit of an interesting one, but I guess it's because of all the hidden gems, things, gold stuff, and everything happening around. So that's gonna be interesting when to say the least. I like that at least they're keeping some of the team of the hidden gems as part of the events too. So I like it.
Yeah.
Chris, how about we talk about this next one?
Oh, the little calm day.
Calm day.
I'll just mention really quick. I do really like that they have a nice variety going on with this. With the research day. I mean, the most diverse we got before that was just Galarian and regular Stunfisk. But this calm day, a lot of people are either joking or very serious on Twitter saying that it's a repeat calm day. And that's because a lot of people already have that shiny.
Yeah.
But June 2023, which is going to be June 10th, is going to be the community day for Axew. This is the first time, I pinky promise. And that's going to be the calm day from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Axew the Tusk Pokemon, are we excited? I am.
Yes, I'm very excited. I mean, we knew this is the trend that's happening since the last few community days from GoFest and everything. A lot of chances, just like Zach has mentioned. Community Day Axew. It's finally here. For a lot of people who are been looking for that shiny and the hundo, it's finally here for you guys. So Axew Community Day happening on Saturday, June 10 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. in local time. Axew, the featured Pokemon, of course, it will have the rate of the community day to get shiny. So that will be everybody's gonna have 20 shinies at the end of this community day. Then we have the moves. So Haxorus, which with the final evolve form, will have the now charge attack breaking swipe, his dragon type move. And they actually say, Chris, that this is actually going to boost Haxorus as the number 3 best dragon type attacker in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, he had Dragon Claw before. Wait, actually, did he?
I don't know. Probably
as a chargement. I'm actually I might be wrong. Maybe he did already have it. I do know that was holding him.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Dragon Claw.
Yeah, it can get Dragon Claw. So now breaking swipe is better for him, especially in PvP, I think.
Yeah, that does make sense. I'm very happy to hear that because he's not very relevant anymore.
Not anymore, but with this, it may actually become a little bit relevant for his time to shine, basically. Mm-hmm. But either way, Haxorus is finally here. It's finally time for everybody to get their chance on a good shiny Axew when it comes down to it. Community Day special research story, keeping sharp. I like it. It's not bad.
They're trying.
Yes. Now I want to talk about the bonuses. Just like I know there are Community Day bonuses. However, there is one that a lot of people are actually been mentioning. Actually, no. I thought somebody actually mentioned something about that. However, 3 times experience for catching Pokemons, candy and extra large candy, 2 times candy and extra large candy, as you say. Lore modules and incense will be activated for 3 hours, last for 3 hours during the event. Snapshots, once again, 1 additional special trade can be made for up to 3 a day. Remember, we do have the extra one for the bonus of the season. And then the trades will require 50% less Stardust.
I do want to mention really quick, the gold lore will not be affected by that. Some people already knew that, but I just want to put that out there.
And the daily adventure instance will actually not spawn 3 hours. So be careful of that too. And a lot of people also forget. So trust me. Bonus raid battles after Community Day, of course, will be happening from 5 to 10 p.m. local time. 4-star race with Fracture being the featured Pokemon, and of course, once you defeat it, you'll be able to have for 30 minutes spawn more Axew for the 300-meter radius, and then of course they will have the same rates of shinies as Community Day shiny Pokemon. And then stickers, they're kind of cute, and then they do have the ambassador activations. So looking for trainers to join if people want to go through. I would say at least use Campfire too if you actually have it, and then see what is the best place when it comes down to it. We do have community parks in our area, and then an ambassador activation somewhere else. I'm not sure where the ambassador activation will be, but we do have parks. A lot of parks where people actually go, so that's pretty good, I guess. Oh yeah, that park right there. I haven't seen that park in a while. Anyways, are we doing Mega Swampert? No, we are still 1 day away from Swampert to come back. So I'm sorry to say that, and we don't have any gyms around our area that we can have Swamperts at this hour. So
yeah, I'm not even gonna be raiding Mega Swampert, even though he is a good Mega.
I don't think I want to either, just because I have all that I need for it. I could use a little more extra large candy, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I have Mega level 3 and everything at that point.
Yeah, same.
But that's Community Day. Are you excited, Chris?
Yeah. I already have the hundo. I actually forgot I had the hundo, but we were raiding it a while ago.
Yes.
I do not have the shiny yet, and it is a gorgeous shiny when it evolves all the way. It turns that nice black color.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, very excited. Cool Pokemon. Yeah, I hope everyone else is, even though a lot of people think it's a repeat.
Yes, definitely. I did remember getting my 3 shiny Haxorus. Actually, I caught one in the wild during Go Fest. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And I do have the Honda, so I'm ready for that. So I'm ready for all that. I think I have 2 Hondas, actually. Yes, I do have 2 Hondas. I just remember that. I don't like Mudkips. I like Mudkips. I just don't want to actually have to rate it for it. Don't spend that money. But yeah, that is actually almost everything that we know about the Hidden Gem season. There are a few more things that we can cover. However, we are running a little bit late already. We have still one more piece of information to talk about in a PvP section, the Gold Battle League, of course. Very, very excited about that. But before we actually get to our PvP section, there is one last piece of information that I want to cover and I want to actually mention to everybody. So, Soy2Dots, a popular streamer or popular YouTuber actually for Pokemon Go and one of our big leaders in our community, was able to sit down with a member of Niantic, actually Michael Staranka. Sorry if I butchered the name, my friend. Which actually he is the director of Pokemon Go, so he actually covers a lot of bases when it comes down to it. So Michael actually reached out to Zoe a couple of days before Mewtwo Shadow Race came around and said that he's going to fly out to Australia, where Zoe Tudo actually lives, and he's going to be actually having a chance to talk with her about a lot of different things. So Zoe Two Dots actually posted on Twitter saying, what do you want to talk to, or what do you want to say to Niantic? She didn't actually hint at anything until the video came out. So the video comes out. It's actually a 1 hour long video, and it's basically the interview with Michael. I'm just going to recap a few things. Actually, I think Pokédaxi has actually summarized the ability of that. So let me actually go into his post here, just because it is how it is. There we go. So to take note of what they talked about. First of all, so of course, shout out to Zoe and Michael for doing this kind of interview. Again, it's after all the controversies when it happened to be. So, this is the main points that they mentioned, and I like the summary from Pokédaxi. Number 1, they take feedback online and offline from diverse types of players. So it's just not one type of player or 2 type of players. Everybody's feedback is included into the decisions. They want people to be aware of situations where trainers see like-minded people in comments online and think that this is what the whole community feels. Basically, means that not everybody who is online is different. It's the same mind people that, the player that goes out and just plays the game regardless. So casually, hardcore, online people, all those things are very different things. Number 3, depth diaries, which is something that a lot of people are actually wanting to know about things, since depth diaries were supposed to be a bi-weekly or bi-monthly kind of thing when it comes down to it. They said that there were more work than they anticipated or predicted and got mixed feedback for them. So they have decided to slow the pace of release to every couple of months. There was no announcement of this. So instead of getting it like the promise, we're only going to have maybe one, maybe two per year. I'm not entirely sure. It really depends on how the decisions are or what they actually want to portray. Because I believe that the Dev Diaries weren't really serving the purpose that a lot of people in the community actually wanted to. So that's the mixed feelings about it. Number 3, there is a trade-off they needed to make by nerfing remote raid passes. And this is a very important one, in which it limits disabled rural players. The in-person live experience is more important to them, and it's just something that they have to do even if it affects those people. True, it's basically just a big bandage that needed to be removed regardless, and it needed to really just rip it off. Like, just at this point, it was more like, if they didn't do it now, it was going to get done later, and it's better sooner rather than later at this point. However, it does affect a lot of people, and they know that affects a lot of people. However, it does make sense that they want to focus more on real life play when it comes down to it. Number 4, they didn't think that things like guarantee extra large rare candies, puffins, and other in-person rewards will be enough to motivate people to go out while keeping remote changes. True, that is true.
If they kept it the way it was, no.
Yeah, there's not. It wasn't enough incentive to just say, hey, we're gonna have an extra large candy for every legendary you do. To go out, or even puffins at that point, so things that are hard to obtain weren't enough for us to just say, let's get off the couch and raid in person. Basically, that's what they're saying in the end of the day. Number 5, local communities are dead because no one has played outside in the last 2 years, so they're trying to force those to regrow. They hope people will take charge and help foster them. This is what I've been saying for the last 3 months, for the last 2 months, for the last everything. It's just, it makes sense. Yes, they have to force us out of our comfort zone and actually interact with the community. However, you can't expect to just go out and think that there's going to be a community out there to play. You have to make the effort. It's the biggest thing when it comes down to Pokemon Go, and that's how it even started at that point. So we need to do better. We need to take charge to what it is to make the local communities grow once again. It will take time, but it will be out there. As long as somebody takes charge, we'll be good. Then 6, or the next point, online communities are less important than local to them. They have features for online like Vivillon, but the local is as priority and what makes them unique. Niantic does not sell local location data. Their choices was based on their values, and they knew they would lose money. I wanted to actually iterate those 2 points together. Online communities, as much as we love them, as much as many friends we actually met because of them, it is not the priority for them. They need to be more local. They need to be more of that sense. They still, think about them a lot when they do this kind of things. Just like they mentioned, the Vivillon release was mostly global, so it was easier for them to do this kind of things. However, again, local play, local communities, that's what they are looking for, and things like GoFest and things like that will actually make sense to go to if you want to meet other people out there.
I will say long term, and I don't think it's something I've seen mentioned a lot, it does make lucky trades easier when it's people you're raiding with locally.
True. That's for sure.
I didn't think about that till just now.
Mm-hmm. Then the next point, the team is not spread thin. So a lot of people actually ask this. New hires for each game and different teams. So basically, a lot of people are saying, oh, you're not putting the effort into Pokemon Go. There's always so many glitches, so many things are happening. You are focusing more on, Peridot or NBA All World and all that stuff. And you're spreading the teams. And you have to think, a lot of people don't think that each game will have its independent team. And they'll hire people for those teams so long as the game continues on. Pokemon Go definitely has a strong team working together with a minor few cats around the way. So definitely something that happens, but he specifically said that it's not spread thin. They're working together, as many different choices in that regard. Then we have another point. The Pokemon Go team is a very, very busy team. And actually, I actually remember hearing this during the interview because I actually listened to the whole thing. Is that it's so hard to be able to control a game you cannot control that much. So think of it this way: the team can control a lot of different things, events, and all that. However, this is a live game. This is a 24/7, all day, every day, no matter how much you look at it, and it's so hard to be able to pinpoint all the problems from every single parts of the world at every single time of the day. If they have teams for different parts of the world, that makes a little more sense. However, that doesn't mean that you can just be everywhere all at once just because the game is in that sense. So I think he actually explained it the best. As much as control they have for the game and how they can do things, it's so hard to be able to control it. It's not a game board you can control. It's how the players control it.
It is hard when you can't really turn it off for maintenance, like a lot of games. I mean, like, there's a ton of games online I can think of that, shut down for maintenance overnight.
Yeah, and that's something that Pokemon Go really can't do that much unless it's out there, I mean, they have mentioned things they have mentioned time and time again. They said, okay, we're all gonna be shutting down for X amount of hours, but then we'll be back after this. Make sure that you're okay with this and things like that. But it's only been 1 out of the 7 years.
Yeah, it's very infrequent.
Yeah, so it's hard to say that the game is, as much as they want to be able to update all things and consider, it's definitely hard to prioritize all things at once. So the team can be very busy regardless of how it goes. Then another point that they actually mentioned, another thing, reducing errors and bugs is a priority for the team right now. So they're trying their best, and I mean their best, to actually look into the bugs and fixes for the game. Even though we know that a lot of bugs are really hard to continue on in the end of the day. They have plans to expand and invest into Pokemon Go PvP and local play tournaments. This is huge because actually Michael is a very huge PvP guy. He actually made Legends almost every single season. So he's definitely a PvP guy when it comes down to it. He likes the PvP action. So there's definitely more to come when it comes to PvP, local PvP, and play tournaments around the world. This last season, they apologized for the lack of PvP updates, and they see it as a huge miss for them. Is that something that the community needed to hear? Yes. Will they actually like it? No. But yes, regardless of how it is, they did miss a lot in the last season when it comes down to it. It says the PvP has come a long way with all their changes and they have made since last year. That is true. A lot of things have changed. Definitely a lot stale for a lot of people, but it's definitely something that people want to see in the end of the day. Michael regrets being too hasty with remote raid pass introduction. This means that when all of this started, the ability to do remote raids were a little too soon, maybe staggered a little bit instead of actually, introducing the whole thing at once and then making people just really comfortable with it. I do think that at the same time of the coin, it was better to just go ahead and take it away or take as much ability of it away instead of, just remove it altogether. So, any thoughts on that, Chris?
I understand them ripping off the Band-Aid because he's talking about taking it away, right?
No, he's talking about when they introduced remote raids the very first time.
I mean, we mentioned too, like they said in the blog post that they were gonna do something to limit it in the future. We just didn't know what at the time. And
I believe that unfortunately that actually made it a little bit worse because it was unlimited on resource that you can use on any point of the day. So I actually kind of understand his point of view when it comes down to it, so it makes sense. Then Niantic is 100% mission driven and will always try to bring positive interactions to the world through their mission. So we know Niantic has a very big, strong core values and mission. There's definitely one of the things that they are prioritize when it comes down to implementing things into Pokemon Go and how they can affect the game in its entirety. So again, exploration, community, exercise. All those core values are there for that reason. And then ultimately, Niantic has your best interests at heart. Simple and easy. I mean, Niantic is not a company that is shady when it comes down to it. It's just been a lot of things that, if you think about it, a lot of the things that we hear from everybody is mostly not from Niantic, but it's from the people that think that they're being shady for that reason. And I think that's what's toxic in this community, you know?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to please everybody.
Yeah, so I believe that was the case. There's a few more things here and there, and of course, even though Zoe was able to ask multiple of questions, there are a few that are definitely not answered because of NDA and definitely things that were soon to come into Pokemon Go. So he's definitely one of those where he wants to keep the integrity of Pokemon Go at its fullest. Mm-hmm. And I think he has the best interest at heart too. I really like that interview. I think that we can learn from it. I think that this is what we needed, I say the least. And I'm glad because this wasn't something that Zoe initiated. It was something that Michael initiated and actually wanted to talk to Zoe, which is a very transparent person out there. It makes it
She's very indifferent on a lot of things.
So I'm glad that they reached out to at least probably one of the best, if not the best, community leader out there to talk about this kind of thing. So I'm glad when it comes down to it. Yeah, Captor, I wish you would have done it too. You know, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, he's like, yo, Purified podcast. I just need to reach out to somebody to give my thoughts on Niantic.
I know, right? But I'm glad. Again, we can learn from this. I do think that this was a great interview and it answers a lot of things that the community have been suffering. Take it as you want to. I'm not saying that, of course, it will change a lot of different things. Definitely things that are now implemented and knowing that Niantic is actually listening no matter what. So
yeah, definitely cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. If you do, of course, want to see the whole interview, just go to the main channel. They'll have it posted. I think she has it pinned right now, so definitely something that a lot of people want to hear in the end of the day. All right, enough said. Let's get into some PvP action. Get good here. Get wrecked. Here we go. Chris. It is time for Go Battle League season, I don't know, 12, 13, 15? Shoot. I don't know.
What season is this?
I don't remember at this point. However, Hidden Gems update is happening, and this is a huge one from the last season. I'll go ahead and get a couple of things there, and then Chris, you can cover a few things here and there. Okay. Then we have, first and foremost, we have our the start date, the rank resets, and after the season, just like any other season. This will happen on Thursday, June 1st, the very first day of the month.
The piece tomorrow, guys.
Our start pieces, please, thank you. End of the season rewards will be available on the battle screen. Your Go Battle League rank will reset, and then the rank cap requirements remain the same as the prior season. Then we have Go Battle League Hidden Gem schedule, the full season worth of schedule. We can cover each week. So the very first thing you just have to know, the Great League and the Summer Cup Great League edition will be happening. I think we can just go over that week by week just because of how things are going. If we actually cover all this, I feel like it's a little too much information. We'll
forget anyways.
Yeah, definitely. Hidden Gems Go Battle the events. The Go Battle Weekend Clay will be happening on Saturday, July 1st. From 12 a.m. to Sunday, July 2nd at 11:59 p.m. local time. The bonuses, of course, 4 times Stardust from Win Rewards. It does not include, of course, any other stack that we have during the Master League rotation weeks. Maximum number of sets can be increased from 20 to 100 battles in total. Free battle team time research will be available. Pay battle team time research awarding Stardust will be available for $1. It is important to know that, of course, again, it expires before the end of the day, so you have 24 hours to complete. And then we also have the active leagues that will happen during this week will be the Master League and then the Single Type Cup Great League Edition.
The Master League Premier.
Oh, thank you. Master League Premier. Which we'll cover that in a second. And then we do have the Pokemon Go World Championships event happening on August 11th to Tuesday, August 15th. I think there was going to be an event happening in concurrence to that because the World Championships is very important for all battlers out there. The active leagues throughout this event will be all 3 leagues, and they will also award you with trade time Stardust to win rewards. Of course, the closer we get to that, we'll have more information. Chris, how about you go about the Go Battle League rewards for the rankings?
Okay. Go Battle League Hidden Gem rewards. These are the guaranteed rank up encounters. At rank 1, you'll get a guaranteed Excadrill. At rank 6, you'll get a guaranteed Scovet. At 2000 Elo, you'll get an Axew. At 2500, you'll get a Gibble. At 2750, you'll get a Goomy. And of course, at 3000, aka Legend, you'll get a Pikachu Libre. Ooh. Honestly, pretty good bunch.
Yeah, definitely. Standard encounters, I'll just go over a few of them. Rank 1's plus will be Meryl, Gligar, Wingull, Nosepass, Medicham, or Meditate, sorry. Rank 6 and more will be Seal, Male Frillish, Onyx, I'm sorry, those were 6 and plus. 11 and plus will be Onyx, Lickitung, Wobbuffet, Phantom, and Marine. And then 16 and plus will have Scraggy, Wooloo, Failings. Wooloo.
Let's go.
I know, right? And then rank 20 will be the Ray Boss, of course, that can happen to appear during the time of the Go Battle League, which a lot of people usually go to 20 really quickly in the first few weeks anyways. And then we have Axew, Gibble, and Goomy in the correspondence ranks that Chris mentioned. The Go Battle League Time Research Pass will also be available. So remember, if you actually want to really want to get your Stardust and your Elite Charge CMs and everything, you can actually get this, but you'll have to win at least 500 times to get to where you're going here, which is crazy. And the Time Research claim will be from June 1st all the way to June 15 at 1 p.m. local time. The Time Research can be claimed between Thursday, June 1st and Thursday, June 15th. Does that mean that you cannot claim it after that? That's a little interesting.
Huh.
Avatar items and other words will have the clay avatars, which is kind of interesting. Actually, somebody pointed out something interesting when it comes down to that feature, to that post and that outfit. Each one of them will be available at its ranks of Ace, Veteran, and Expert, and even Legend Clan. It's clay from, Gen 5, I think is the...
Dude, you could tell me any gen that I haven't played and I'd believe you.
Good night, Ferg. Thank you so much. But yeah, that is, of course, what you guys get. Clay from, I don't know, Gen 5 at this point. Then we have our cups. We do know our cups, Great League, Ultra League, and Master League. We know our specifically CPs for those. Master League Premier, no CP limit, but Legendary, Mythicals, and Ultra Beasts are not eligible. So this is basically a full-on Mado Pokemons out there. Summer Cup will have the Great League Edition. Only normal, fire, water, grass, electric, and bug type Pokemon are eligible. That's an interesting one. Then we also have the Ultra League Edition, which will happen later on in the season. Same thing, but of course, Ultra League. Element Cup, little edition, fire, water, grass eligible, and of course, only Pokemon that can evolve and have evolved at least once are eligible.
Ducklets Cup.
I know, right? Single type cup, the Great League Edition. So only one type are eligible. For example, Wobbuffet, who is only a Psychic type Pokemon, is eligible. However, Swampert, being a water and ground type, is not permitted. The only thing that is, of course, not allowed during this cup is Cresselia and Defense form Deoxys.
That's a cool idea.
I can understand that, yeah. Retro Cup, I think we actually seen that before. So Great League Edition will have Pokemons that didn't have after Generation 2. So Dark, Steel, and Fairy types are banned. Fossil Cup, interesting one for sure. Only Water, Rock, and Steel type are eligible. Is Steel a fossil?
I'm trying to think of like Pokemon that would be counted as Steel. I guess the only reason they'd bring it in is because of a Pokemon like Steelix.
I just say Special Distortions. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, Great League Remix. Of course, the remix only allows certain Pokemons, and the 20 Pokemons that are the most used by trainers rank Ace and above will not be eligible. We have a bunch, most likely the meta. So I can go over them, but trust me, you probably already know what the meta is, anyways. Fantasy Cup Ultra League Edition, only Dragon, Steel, and Fairy type Pokemon are eligible, which is actually kind of cool. And the Pokemons that are actually banned throughout this will be Galarian, Stunfix, and Cobalion. I like it. The Catch Cup Hidden Gem Edition, of course, the Pokemons that can because during the season of Hidden Gems will be eligible. So this is only happening at the end of the season. So pretty much, if you have some Pokemons here and there, cool. But if you really don't want to power up any Pokemons, it's not a cup that you want to use anyways. Chris, how about you actually go over the new attacks and the attack changes?
All right. I do know a few people locally that are very excited for the new attacks and the new changes that they made to some Pokemon we already have. Liquidation is going to be a new charge attack. In trainer battles, it's going to do 70 power and have a chance to lower the opposing Pokemon's defense by 1 stage. And it's going to do the same amount of power in gyms and raids. Leafage is going to be a fast attack, which for trainer battles is going to do 6 power, and for gyms and raids is going to do 9. Attack changes. Now, Icicle Spear is going to be doing 65 power instead of 60.
Okay.
Poison Fang is going to do 45 power instead of 40. Rollout is going to do 5 power instead of 4. I'm kind of surprised by that one, getting a buff. Mud Bomb is going to do 60 power instead of 55. And Seed Bomb is going to do 60 power instead of 55. But for that one, there's also going to be an energy cost increase. So keep in mind that.
Yes, definitely. A lot of cool changes. I want to say that a lot of moves that really needed some buffing, most of them are buzz. So it's actually pretty cool when it comes down to it. I think when it came down to the meta relevance, Icicle Sphere losing, having a nerf last season or the season prior to that, really put a damper in some of the Pokemon, especially Welner.
Yeah,
Walrein,
Walrein was it's honestly it's still pretty meta, but yeah, it definitely
suffered.
Wasn't as good like at all. Like people just weren't using it.
Yeah, definitely suffer from that. So I'm actually glad that all of this actually do have a little bit of power. Every time I see Mud Bomb, I just see Wish Catch.
It's like chip damage.
Yeah, it's Wish Catch in there. But even Swampert benefits from that, so that's actually pretty cool. How about the attack availability updates?
Yeah, Alolan Sandslash is getting even more love. This thing has like a bunch of fast and charge moves.
It's gotta be like number 1 meta from here on out, I think.
Yeah. Alolan Sandslash will now be able to learn the charge attack Drill Run. Clefable. I'm actually surprised by seeing Clefable on here. Clefable will now be able to learn the fast attack Fairy Wind. So you might not see Charm. Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff will now be able to learn the charge attack Disarming Voice. Golduck will now be able to learn the charge attack Liquidation. Golduck meta now. Dugong. Dugong will now be able to learn the charge attack Drill Run and the charge attack Liquidation. Very happy for that. Now Dugong has a way to hit the steel types.
Yes.
Cloyster. Cloyster will now be able to learn the charge attack Liquidation. Vaporeon will be able to learn the charge attack Liquidation. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Togetic will be able to learn the fast attack Fairy Wind. A lot of people were expecting this already, so thank you.
Kind of nice.
Quagsire. Quagsire will be able to learn the charge attack Mud Bomb. Oh my gosh, this thing is a monster now.
Oh god.
It was a monster before. Oh my gosh.
If you don't have your Swampers, your best bet is Quagsire anyways.
Yeah, it used to just be full on attacks, but now it's even got a little bit of bait. So
yeah,
that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Tyranitar will now be able to learn the charge attack Brutal Swing. I don't know if that's better than Crunch. We'll see.
So I actually want to elaborate a little bit on this one. So Tyranitar learning Brutal Swing actually makes it the best dark type attacker for raids.
You know, that's a good reason. I'll take it.
Yeah,
that's good.
That is very good reason. So surprisingly, even if it doesn't actually do that's more impact in the Go Battle League for this one, having it actually has a attack that really helps out in the raids, makes Tyranitar a more viable Pokemon for anything out there. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Cradilly will now be able to learn the Charge Attack Rock Slide, which is really good because it had Stone Edge before, but it has such high attack. I think Rock Slide is going to be the way to go.
a little more diversity and a little more potent on the attack, anyways.
Yeah. Amaldo will be able to learn the Charge Attack Liquidation. Okay. Floatzel will be able to learn the Charge Attack Liquidation. Drifblim will be able to learn the Charge Attack Mystical Fire. Are you kidding me?
That's an interesting
Dude.
one, yeah.
Yeah,
That.
Drifblim had to worry about
I guess
ice
it.
before.
Yeah. That's the only thing I'm thinking of is like, oh, you're gonna go against an ice type now? Haha, here you go.
Snover. It's kind of weird that they gave this. Snover will be able to learn the fast attack leafage, and also, of course, Obama Snow will be able to learn the fast attack leafage. Will that be the way to go over Razor Leaf? I don't know. Do we know the energy yet?
No, not yet. The season will start tomorrow, so we'll know more about it then. Obama Snow being more of an ice attacker with Weather Ball and all that, knowing fast attack leafage may actually have some coverage, but we'll see if it wins it better than just having Powder Snow at that point.
Yeah, because there is reasons to run Razor Leaf sometimes. But yeah, we'll see after energy gain. But Probopass will now be able to learn the Charge Attack Zapcan. I kind of already thought it had it.
Me too.
This one is one we've been waiting for. Heatran will be able to learn the Charge Attack Earth Power. Yeah, we'll take it. Thank you.
Of course, yeah. That's gonna be
Samurott.
interesting if you see it, but I believe his fast attack doesn't really help him at that point.
Yeah,
Especially in the
I
Master
think
League.
I think it's really more if you want a different type for the quick attack and both of the charge attacks.
It does
That's
give it
the only
coverage.
reason can
I
think.
do like the coverage though, because it does hit a lot of the things that he wouldn't hit it because of it. So
Yeah, ground is a very good type to have. But Samurott will be able to learn liquidation, of course. Whimsicott will be able to learn the charge attack seed bomb. That thing is a monster. Caracosta will be able to learn the charge attack liquidation. Oh my gosh, there are so many.
is that the second, the first evolution of Tortuga?
The second one. Yeah,
It's middle
so it's
evolution,
the
right?
final.
Oh, it's the final.
No, it only evolves once. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it had a third evolution for some reason. I don't know why.
He just gets a bigger shell.
Okay.
But Amolga will be able to learn the charge attack aerobatics. I think it only had aerial ace before. I might be wrong.
So that's better, right? Acrobatics is better
Acrobatics hits hard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's better than that card.
Less spammy, but it hits very hard. Electros will be able to learn the charge attack liquidation. That's hype. Litwick will be able to learn the charge attack mystical fire.
Little cup, here we go.
Yeah. Come at me, Bronzor.
Right.
Beartick will be able to learn the charge attack liquidation. Rowlet will be able to learn leafage. Dartrix will be able to learn leafage. Decidueye will be able to learn leafage. So
I feel like always Rowlet's was actually leafage was Rowlet's signature move, so I don't know why.
probably. But I am pretty excited to see Decidueye with something other than Razor Leaf.
Right.
Primarina will be able to learn the charge attack disarming voice. That's going to make it a lot spammier for Master League.
Oh yeah.
Fomantis will be able to learn the fast attack leafage, same as Lurantis. Golisopod will be able to learn the charge attack liquidation, of course. And then this is one I saw very hyped up. Ursaluna will be able to learn the charge attack ice punch. So it can hit a lot of flyers.
Yeah, and I think that's a good coverage aside from Fire Punch or Thunder Punch at that point. So it's actually definitely, when it comes down to it, I guess the ice could be a little bit better, but it just depends on the matchup in the end of the day. But just like Chris has actually said, we have a lot of changes, like a lot. This is something that probably was a long time coming, from the attack abilities to the new attacks to the attack changes. You know, the community was really, really, really sad of how they handled it last season and how everything just got boom burst. So that regardless of that, maybe this is something that we really, really needed it. And I'm glad that they are not taking into account that these changes could affect how the meta shifts us into the play Pokemon events and, of course, the World Championships. Even though the grassroots of PvP is changing a little bit here and there, especially now that Zelda Arena is closing its doors pretty soon, we are hoping that at least these types of changes, both in the Go Battle League and in local events or on local tournaments out there, will be something that you can continue on using for the future. But I'm glad that the PvPs, the battlers out there, really got the update they needed in the end of the day. So with that being said, Chris, I think that's it. Anything else you want to cover?
I think that covers everything.
Yeah. Almost a 2-hour podcast here again too. Lord have mercy.
Our poor throats.
Oh God. I'm glad though, because I really need to. I think I only have. Oh God, I think I only have an hour left on podcast. Anyways, we'll figure it out when it comes down to it. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. For anybody who's been online and watching us on Twitch. Make sure they check our socials for anything, but of course, check us out in our podcast services feeds: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, any other places. If you can leave us a review, we greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Social media, of course, Pure Go, Pokemon Trigger Please, that's PKMN, Trigger Please with a Z at the end, Purified Podcast for anything Pokemon Go related news. We also have our email, purifiedpodcast@gmail.com, if you want to check us out there. Join our Discord. We are very free for you guys to come and talk to us. And don't forget to check us out at thepurifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. With that being said, Chris, if I remember how to actually control my OBS here, this season is actually looking to be a spicy one for all of us. So I do believe that it's time to take us away for the night.
All right. Hope you guys are excited to TM off frustration from your Mewtwo's. So get ready when that takeover happens. We got a lot to look forward to. I hope everybody was able to get out there and raid with their locals. And if you weren't, I'm sorry. Hopefully you guys can in the future, especially for Articuno coming up. And we'll catch you guys next week with even more news. Peace out, guys.
Keep purifying them, everybody, and really do purify those Shadow Mewtwo's. And we'll see you guys next time.